The area where I think we now have to do a lot of work is criminal justice. Language can enter into issues of criminal justice in many ways. One of the first ways in which it can enter has to do with understanding. People could be an accused person who is trying to say, his version of I didn't do it, or I need an inhaler, or I can't breathe, or whatever it might be. It's hard to imagine that those phrases themselves are not being understood. But who knows? And it could also arise at a level of people who are serving as witnesses. So in the testimony of Rachel Jeantel, it was the trial of George Zimmerman. She was by far the most important witness for the prosecution in that case. And it was very discouraging to learn at the end that at least one juror, and possibly more, said, we couldn't understand her. And then secondly, we didn't believe her.
She just wasn't a good witness.
Did you find it hard at times to understand what she was saying?
A lot of the times. Because a lot of the times she was using phrases I have never heard before.
So you didn't find her credible as a witness?
No.
It's very clear that people, whether in the courtroom or outside of the courtroom, could not understand and could not believe Rachel Jeantel's testimony. It's like, here's a speaker who speaks a really stigmatized variety of African-American language, and they're not given the decency of being believed, even though they were the last person on the phone with this speaker.
He was a calm, loving person, loves his family, definitely.
She's essentially the only witness that they have because she was on the phone with Trayvon Martin while he was being pursued.
I'm not quite clear on what you're saying. You're saying, first of all, to the jury that what you said is, I could hear it was Trayvon.
I could hear it's Trayvon.
So linguistic profiling is at play here in a number of ways. The prosecutor having this ability to pull her language apart, to ask her what words mean, to tell her what her words mean, and it never is challenged in the court. It's not only not challenged, it's accepted as evidence.
And you didn't say, I couldn't hear it was Trayvon, or I couldn't know it was Trayvon?
I said I could hear it's Trayvon. It's how I speak. You cannot hear me that well.
So Rachel Jeantel, this national moment, because there's been work on it, a lot of us point to this example. I think it's important to remember that linguistic profiling is always at play. So every case, every time someone goes into a courtroom, how they're using language determines how trustworthy they are, how much we believe what they're saying to us, and it can, affect their perception of criminality. So someone might come in with an accent, tell the full truth, and get, a heavier sentence because of how they sound, not necessarily like what they've done or what they've said.
Part of this goes back to people not understanding the systematicity of African American English. I believe we just need to be more careful about the way in which we judge people who speak a particular dialect.